Welcome to Fragmental.
An amusing take on random topics. So, this week's episode brought to you by alcohol, at least on my end.
You got the tall boys going now.
I got the tall, but yeah, I was saying it earlier. I went to go get a 12 pack of Brewdog and grab the cold ones, the ones out of the fridge that were cold, hence the refrigerator. Cracked them open. I'm like, I'm just going to grab a couple of beers and get on the podcast. And I'm like, holy fuck, these are 16 ounces. So I'll be 32 ounces deep when we're done.
I mean, I was surprised to see you shotgunning, as we were prepping for the call, but that's okay. I mean, whatever gets the job done.
Yeah. Whatever gets me going. So, Brewdog, if you're listening again, would really use some sponsorship here. So, brought to you by Brewdog, Elvis Juice,
Good fucking
grape infused IPA.
It's good beer.
It is good beer. I really like it.
Yeah,
It's like a shandy, but not.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not I'm not an IPA guy, but I don't know if it's the grapefruit that
Neither am
tames the
I.
IPA flavor or what, but it doesn't taste like an IPA to me.
Right. Yeah. I think it's probably what we need to do is get some of these craft brew guys on and have them explain to us what all the different beers and grapefruit with
their
they can do their beards and
their jackets with
mustaches.
Patches on the elbows and seriously, some of those guys have craft beer jackets,
tweed jackets.
Yeah, I mean it's their thing.
Really?
It's like a smoking jacket, but it's their craft beer. They've got their jackets with their
for drinking
patches, and yeah. Then I think you're right. They are required to grow like a mountain man beard. I mean, clearly most of these guys have never done a hard day's work in their life. But
and they have the rolled up pants with the the stirrup socks or whatever they call them.
Dude, we do need to get those guys on, and it needs to be in person because we will just riff on hey, so is it a requirement to have pants that are 3 sizes too small? Because it's halfway up your calf and you're not even sitting down. Are those fucking capri pants
with dress shoes?
Yeah.
Are those your wife's pants?
Yeah. Dude, your wife's gonna be pissed. Those are her good jeans.
It literally says fuck, I lost the line. God damn it.
No.
I had the woman's store in my head and I lost it just at the end of the joke. It would have been hysterical, but
anyway, with those pants I figured you'd be drinking White Claw, but okay, whatever.
Well, sure, all right. I see your wife wears the jeans in the family.
So if you're wearing those, does your wife wear the carpenter jeans?
So your wife's a mechanic. Is that what I understand?
What's her favorite sandwich? That's weird. Oh, man. That's awesome.
I ran into your wife the other day. She recommended these wrenches that...
She said stay away from Craftsman. I know you don't know what that means.
Cobalt. She said go with Snap-on? You know what that means? Oh, or was that Strap-on? I don't remember either one.
That would be yeah, exactly. It's like, no, she's a Snap-on guy. You sure?
Because I think she's more into the Strap-on.
You're almost there, but
God, that's funny. You're off by a letter.
Oh man, good.
Anyway,
yeah, missed a week. I was vacation, man. You were off last week.
Yeah, fucking. I was a fucking lazy turd, is what I was, and it actually worked out. I was. People have been asking me how, one of the calls today, one of the guys was like, "So where'd you go on vacation?" I'm like, "My living room. That's where I went on vacation." And I binge watched a fucking bunch of shitty TV. But this beautiful. I was telling somebody today about how I went as dumb television as possible, like non-thinking television. It literally, I think, sucking the intelligence out of me to power the television. So
you know what though? Sometimes you just need that. I mean, I say it all the time. I don't watch an Adam Sandler movie because I want to be intellectually stimulated. I want to laugh at fart jokes, and you know what I mean. I would want to laugh at mindless humor.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
That's where Love Island comes in for me.
Yeah. I mean, were they good episodes at least, or?
It's just it's comical it's comical to me. Luckily I don't have to date because not in today's world because it's awful. It has to be awful. So I'm grateful for my wife staying with me this long.
Oh,
Of course, I
I'm with
also
you there.
wouldn't. Yeah, of course I wouldn't date like a 25-year-old because it's half your age plus 7 would be in the 30s. So, I'm outside of the Love Island window because some of them are dumb as a box of rocks. It's a crack me up.
But that's part of the thing, right? Like they're gonna find just like the most mindless people who are just entertaining to watch and hot.
Oh, they're super hot. Look, I'm not gay, but the guys, I mean, they're good looking guys. They're all in great shape. They're all wannabe influencers. They all want their fucking 15 minutes of fame, and they're gonna take that 15 minutes and they're gonna drag that motherfucker till it's an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, we talked about
As
this.
long as they
Now
possibly can.
he's going to be able to,
Yeah.
they're going to be able to go out on the club circuit now and get paid $5,000 for hosting, a foam party or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You remember Vanessa from Love Island 2?
Meow, 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 meow.
They're like, no, we're not. Yeah. Oh shit, I don't have that. Oh, God
You
damn
even
it.
paused.
Hang on
I
a
thought
second.
you were
Keep
queuing
talking.
it up, but you didn't.
Oh no! I paused because I was taking the tap off my beer, which I think everybody heard because that's right next to the mic.
That's all right. That's how they know it's real.
Yeah, Bush. Which beer do you like? The one that made that Bush sound. What's the name of that beer? Bush.
No, man. So good to be back. So yeah, I guess while we were out, something that was passed and is huge now is the name, image, and likeness for college sports. They can actually get paid now.
Yeah,
Legally, I guess.
but just not with legally. Yeah, legally. Yeah, they're getting paid. Just now it's above the table.
Wasn't that the joke? Like, well, when Shaq made all his money, wasn't that at LSU? Of course, everybody knows that.
That's when he started buying all those Papa John.
Right, that's why he's on the board. Isn't
he like their biggest? Yeah, exactly. When he was like 17,
he's a legit board
giving
member.
him fucking board. Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Shaq's not dumb.
No, hell no. He knows how to market the hell out of himself. I mean, he's doing the commercials now. I mean, the guy's, and plus, he just seems like a legit cool guy.
Yeah, Shaq. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So now they can get paid. They say the first thing that's going to happen, although they whiffed on this, is the college football games that went away because of the name, image, and likeness stuff. So there. Yes. All right. So here we go. I'll cue it up. So now name, image, and likeness passed.
Say it again.
Jesus. All right. Here
Say
we
it
go.
Again.
All right. Name, image, and likeness is now passed. Dude, you're really bad at this. Damn it. This is great radio, by the way.
Oh, I know. I know. Hang on. Now try it.
Name, image, and likeness is passed. There we go. Now it's legit.
There we go. We nailed that. We nailed that motherfucker.
Oh, man.
After 3
Some
tries.
would say this wouldn't happen if
Hey, folks, thanks for listening to us while we practice.
That's what I was going to say. Some would say this wouldn't happen if we actually planned our show.
If we actually prepped.
So that's right. That's what I love.
So
about
name,
us.
image, and likeness. So they can take. So it's like the Sox thing, right? From Michigan, right? Because Michigan was using the names or jerseys, their name, like it's all about. Yes, I've had 2 beers. 2 heavy
it's
beers.
Clear they were tall boys.
Yeah, they're definitely tall boys. Basically, they're just getting their name back, right, from this instead of the school using it to make money. Now they're
yeah, and exactly.
Them.
So it's not just because that's where I think a lot of people were pissed off about is like, how much money are these schools making, and the NCAA itself, like how much are they making off these guys, and these guys can't get a goddamn thing. Which another argument when you talk about the scholarships and all that, but now they can actually get paid for being good at a sport. So I mean, I'm for that.
Right.
Like, I'm not for the university being like, all right, well now you're on the payroll because it's I don't know how you do it, and there's other reasons I'm not okay with that. But I'm absolutely fine with if a car dealership wants to pay whoever Justin Fields $5,000 to come sign autographs on a Saturday, then let him. Like let him do it. Let him make some money
Yeah.
off his likeness because I mean, again, Lord knows the NCAA and Ohio State was making money on him. So
Exactly. I wonder, you know what? We should start looking at like revenue after this to see what have the schools start to dip because they're not,
so
because they're not making that kind of money.
so I the the Jew in me from the business side of this I think is really interesting because now is the NCAA like jacking their price up for you to like who's going to have all the like the NCAA tournament. It's already $1 billion thing. But now are they going to be like, well, you
Right.
mean everybody else is going to make money on this. So now it's going to be 1.3 billion. Like who knows? I'll be curious to see that how that works. Do they up their price or do they actually lose money, which in theory you'd like to hope the NCAA is losing money compared to where they are today and more money, like the ESPNs of the world are like, no, we're not going to give you more money because we're paying players now. You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That money that was going to you now goes to
Right.
whoever.
We have a
You know what I
$100
mean?
million
So,
budget that we're
um,
paying to college athletes. So that has to come out of somewhere. And
but
it's
yeah, the guys at ESPN are like, all right, where do we find this money? We're like, we'll cut 3 or 4 sportscasters and we'll use all of that money for um to pay players. But they can't use the school in that name,
yeah.
likeness, and
So
image,
one thing
right?
I heard actually just today, it was talking about the Ohio State players who what was that 8 years ago or whatever, 9 years ago, who got tattoos for their memorabilia. That I guess is still not legal because that's all like Ohio State licensed memorabilia. So even though it's their personal property,
Mm.
so like Terrell Pryor could have said, "I'll give you 10 autographed footballs for a tattoo," and it would have been fine. But because they're like, "I'm going to give you my gold
In
pants,"
today's
yeah,
world.
yeah, right. If if the new rule was okay 9 years ago, and then instead because he's like these gold pants, these Ohio State University all rights reserved gold pants, apparently that's still not legal. So I don't know all the rules, but I thought that was interesting because now all these guys,
It kind of makes
them
sense. I
Reggie
mean,
Bush, they all want their records back. Like Reggie Bush is like, give me my fucking Heisman back because now, and again, that's another gray area because I think like an agent actually see clearly the audience agrees that he should get his Heisman back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or the DJ, I mean. But yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it'll be interesting. I mean, again, I'm for this. Like, let the guys get paid because they're really good at a sport. Let the girls get paid. Like I saw there were like these twin basketball players. I forget where the ladies go to college, but I guess they signed a multi-million-dollar deal. Like, I guess they're huge on, yeah.
Really?
I'll have to look it up, but I guess, yeah, like they're huge online. You're right. Shocker. Probably TikTok and all that kind of stuff. But now they can get paid.
Yeah.
So whatever school they go to is probably benefited from them being there anyway already. So yeah, like for
Right.
that, I think that's awesome. Like let them get paid for, especially, I mean, in the women's sports, they don't have the funding that you hear for football and basketball. Like they're not getting, you know, yes, they may be getting a full ride
Yeah.
for their sport, but they're not getting like you know, 90 Nike Ohio State University t-shirts and a different pair of cleats for every game. And, women's basketball or, the field hockey are not getting the revenue that football and basketball get in the men's side. So, for them, this is a great thing.
Come on down to Hooters and meet the gymnastics team from Ohio State.
So, I mean, what do you think? Like, that was one thing that I was thinking about. Like, what's going to be the go-to for some of these athletes now? Like, because you got to think they've been thinking as this entire litigation's been going on. Like, man, I cannot wait to sign my deal with blah blah blah. So, where do you think some of them are going?
Well, I don't know. I just saw the other day. you brought this topic up about to kind of talk about this to figure out where these things go. Then I saw like Buddy Boeheim. Remember in the tournament, the nicknaming him Buddy Buckets or whatever because he was nailing those threes.
Oh, yeah.
I think he had like 23 threes in a row or some fucking thing like that. So he like licensed Buddy Buckets, and I think he's selling T-shirts or some fucking thing. It's like Buddy Buckets. So he's already gotten into it.
Yeah. So now he's.
I'm sure with a little backing with the old man, but yeah. But that's
it does help when your dad makes $5 million a year coaching basketball.
Exactly on the team, and you're on the team that he coaches. So
yeah, so
I don't know. Fuck, man, I don't know.
So that's legit. So yeah, but like, what if, like, of course, I would take this in a very fragmental direction. So immediately I think of. So we'll use Ohio State as an example just because being just such a powerhouse football, like, you'd have the court.
Oh, we have everything we do has to be through Ohio State because they got all the sports. It's one of the biggest universities, and we both live in Columbus, so it just makes it funny.
So, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm picturing the entire offensive line, doing a Trojan ad. Well, when we're protecting our Heisman caliber quarterback, Justin Fields, protection is imperative, and nothing protects like Trojan Magnum.
Magnums. I knew you were going with the Magnums.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, I think the shortest lineman's 6'5". Like, the smallest one's 6'5", 300 pounds. I mean, I'm sure he's like, he's filling the thing out. I mean, let's just be real. And you just see a picture like this, all of them just flopping huge Trojans out, like, and then they're getting into it like just the old school, like with a 99.98% effective rate and blocking sperm counts. It really gets there. I mean, I haven't given up a sack in 4 years, and neither has Trojan.
And my girlfriend doesn't have a sack either. Let's just say that.
And then
that's fucking great. You've been prepping that joke for weeks.
But I mean, I sort of have. But I mean, is that not just a natural fit? Take that joke anywhere you want as well. But again, I mean, it's all about protection, absolutely. And I feel like they could get like, it's going to be are we excited for the big game? You bet your ass we are. Just like Trojans excited to show the new assorted colors for the Magnum line.
Oh my god, the fucking commercials are gonna be great. Like, I just saw this dude like his head got fucking taken off, and here he is doing a Trojan ad.
Right. He comes out after he gets a defensive lineman gets a sack, and he pulls one out and starts waving it.
Oh my god, yeah, that's another thing we haven't thought of is like, what's the comeback on the other side? Like, you're doing some shitty ad or whatever, and then the other team like pulls like that fucking like an empty rubber and just starts swinging it around, like, oh yeah, I don't have it, or starts poking holes in the fucking thing.
Lifestyle combats that, and that's the defensive lineman, like,
yeah, exactly.
Right. Hi, I'm Chase Young, and when I just got 4 sacks against the Trojan guy, I recommend Rough Rider Bareback. It's really more effective than they are because I clearly penetrated that, just like I'm going to penetrate Stacy over here on Saturday.
Stacy, you know what's coming.
Which also leads me to my backup endorsement, Astroglide. Astroglide.
Oh, I didn't have the fucking song propped.
Astroglide, when Rough Rider's not enough.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, seriously, there's
like when I'm sliding through the line, I use Astroglide.
Or I mean, exactly. So you know what I mean? Like, the running back Zeke Elliott when he was in college. Like when I'm pounding it up the middle, I use whatever Husqvarna 2-man augers. Taking it right up the middle, just like Saturday.
If you want to split your defenses, come on over to the Husqvarna wood splitter over here.
See what I mean? It's not just it's not just the condom guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly like anybody. You could use whatever entendres you want. Where's the beef? Right here.
Exactly. When I split the middle, And you're looking for a divorce, come to Murphy and Murphy. They can take splits to no end.
Oh man. But see what I think we could have fun with this. And I feel like just the athletes in general, they can really go. I mean, think about the guy. I can't remember his name, but do you remember when the guy ran his 40 and he tripped and fell and his dick fell out? Like he was in Alabama. Think of all the endorsements that guy. Well, actually, he was already out of college, so I'm sure he got some. But you know what I mean? Like, who's the first guy that's going to be doing ad for Brazers? Or whatever. And he goes deep, and look at he just unleashed that bomb in the end zone. Just like Brazers unleashed on your mom. Zone. Justin Fields just. It's like written on the back of the pants.
When we're panning the...
Go ahead.
Yeah, when we're panning the crowd, look at all the MILFs over there. Speaking of MILFs, Brazzers has the most MILFs of anybody.
When I'm... Yeah, right, the smoking hot cheerleader. When I'm cheering them on at how deep... on the deep ball, I'm thinking of how deep they go on Brazers. Brazers.com.
We only have like one commercial, and we just keep it with different.
But because we're fucking pervs. But but I mean, seriously though, like
that's what makes.
But that's what you could get so creative with these. Like we talked about like I said, the O line with protection. I think it goes hand in hand with Trojan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, what could be some?
I'm trying to think of like other sports, like field hockey. Like, what would you do with field hockey?
So all right, so you got the little.
I don't know. If you like to watch lesbians run around banging a ball or something.
We're just keeping it on Brazers, when I is that what we're going with? Like when I'm scissor.
If you like to see if you like to see girls. We can't get it out fast enough.
So what we didn't realize was how big name, image, and likeness was going to be in the porn industry. It is huge, in every way.
Oh God.
When I'm scissoring in the locker room, I'm nothing like Bic blades. Keeping my beef smooth as a baby's bottom.
Oh God! Go to so and so's salon for a waxing because when you're scissoring, you don't want to rub stubble.
Oh, but that's another one because athletes. I mean, think about it. All the running. So you've got like the soccer players. You know what helps prevent chafe? There's nothing worse than chafing on the field. So I go to Charles Pinzone and I get waxed. When they're waxing that beef, nothing's smooth and reduces friction like that. I mean, it's legit. I mean, why not? All these, it's just all these avenues now that people didn't think about. Hockey. I mean, there's got to be some good ones with hockey, right?
Well, especially in the dental space.
Oh, are you kidding?
When I get my teeth knocked out, I go to... Yeah, exactly. I use these veneers.
I only have 7 of my real teeth, but you'd never know because of Johnson's Johnson's Dentistry on South High. Which ones are real?
I trust him with all my broken teeth.
Right. When I'm stabbing somebody with my ice skate, the first thing I think of is who's going to protect these frontliners, and that's Johnson's Dental. Providing veneers for 35 years. I mean, I think this is awesome.
I was gonna go down this like law firm rape joke, but I'm gonna leave it alone. So
It's probably not a good one.
That's a little too off.
Yeah, that's probably not. Man, that took this. Yeah. That went way dark.
Yeah. You're like, Jesus Christ, he's 2 beers in. He's getting dark as shit. We need to slow that guy down.
Oh man, 7.
2 beers, although 2 beers at 6 and what is it? 6.5? Yeah, 6.5%.
Yeah, so you're doing the math there, like that's like 4 shots. Yeah, that's good.
Is it really? I have no
solid
idea.
Buzz.
You did the math. You did
I
the math. I
completely
can't do
made
the
the
math
math up on that. I have
so.
no idea if that's what it legitimately is.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I mean, you got to think of like what's the obscure sports like?
Synchronized swimming.
I brought up field hockey. You got like
you got field hockey, synchronized
that's not
swimming.
a college sport though.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah,
is it really?
I mean, I can't imagine.
So Ohio State has a synchronized swimming team.
Actually, I know somebody who was on. I mean, I don't think it was a full ride, but yeah, was a scholarship athlete at Ohio State for synchronized swimming. So I mean, I guess would that be like a?
I don't even know where.
Yeah,
to go
so right, you got a music playing as they're doing their thing. Like that would be a good fitness. I mean, think of all the gyms that are going to hire these athletes.
You got some music going.
That's what I was. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, think DJs. Like, so when I'm thinking of what I'm going to use for my synchronized swimming routine, I think of DJ Mixmaster Mike. Meow meow meow. The DJ Mixmaster Mike's playlist. It's Mixmaster 7 has the finest array of air horns, foghorns, and techno that you'll hear this side of the Mississippi.
Oh, I'm going fucking brain dead on what else we could do. What else?
Swimming could be a good one,
you got
right?
Swimming,
I mean,
which is
swimming. I mean, swimming's a good one. I mean, with the Olympics coming up, so yeah. I mean, now are college athletes getting into the bathing suit, game? Like, so now, when we're, I don't know. You know what helps me go faster in the water? Fucking Astroglide. Just like it does on Saturday night. They're gonna be like, these guys have 2 bits and it 3 bits.
Condoms, it involves Astroglide and Trojan. That's right.
It's all condoms, porn, and Astroglide. But no, okay.
I brought up the law firm and divorce.
So there, okay, WD-40. Like I cut through the water. Yeah, cut through the water just like wheels on a chair. WD-40. There you go.
Or I cut through the water like a Cutco knife. Yeah. Cutco knives.
You ever seen a Cutco knife cut through that hard piece of leather that they teach the sales reps? Just like I'm cutting through the water in the 50 millimeter or the 50 meter freestyle.
50 millimeter race.
Like, what is that? Is that like you get in the water and they're done?
It's like an ant racing. It's like ant swimming.
Oh, man.
It was a close one.
So what about track and field? They got some good ones.
It was a close one.
Oh, the fucking hammer throw. Are you kidding? Like, nothing sticks the landing like a claw hammer. You got the...
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Craftsman, I don't know who makes hammers.
That's
Estwing. Estwing hammers.
Is that real, or did you just make... It's a believable name.
No, it's actually real.
Think about the hammer throw.
No, it's real, because I'm going back to my construction days. We all had
so there you go. The announcer's like, so Erica Smith just set the national record for the hammer throw. Erica, how do you feel? Well, these hammers are nothing like a good Estwing, Bob, because Estwing has been in the construction industry for 85 years.
Since 1846.
Since 1885. Nothing hammers like...
I threw this
Yeah.
I threw this hammer as far as they've been in business since 1885.
With hammers such as claw, ball peen, or anything else, they've got an assorted variety at your local Home Depot or the catalog at eskwing.com. There you go. See? That's a smooth one that is not porn related, and that's legit. There we go. We just found one.
Yeah. We found one. Okay, so now we can go back to porn and or Astroglide and or Trojan.
So, I mean, those are just funny. Like they're never going to get.
What else
they're
we got?
Never going to not be funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And because that's the most like as deep pockets as they have, they're chomping at the bit to be the first one. Like, oh, you guys, like, dude, this guy is a 6'8", 285-pound defensive lineman. Are you telling me he's not flinging 13 wang right there? Like we've got to get him right here.
What about like what are you on the actually the I don't know, I was gonna say manufacturing side, but on the corporate side is just like you're sitting back with your budget and you're like, who do we get for this? Who can who fits? Oh, have you seen, like, to your point, have you seen this dude? We got to throw at least 7,500 grand at him for our Trojan ad, for our Magnum ad or whatever like that.
Right.
The dude's even shaped like a dick.
Oh, but see, yeah, you could do like if the person. So let's go back. Think of like Christian Leitner, like just that everybody hated, So you could do that, like,
Right.
oh, so they're showing him taking charges and just pissing off the offensive player and be like, you know what, that guy's a dick. Speaking of dicks, long wang dildos. Christian Leitner, he's whipping it around. He's like, when I'm being a dick on the court, nothing really gets in there, just like a long wanger.
Yeah. And make sure you get the custom signed Christian Leitner long winger with my name on the side.
With different sizes as big hog, thin, whatever, thin laser. We've got it for everybody.
That one went down the hill.
That's funny. But yeah,
who was the little dude at Duke? Who was that little guy? I can't think of his name now. Because we even have I was going to say we even have a size for him as well. So,
yeah. So,
I mean, the obvious ones are like football and basketball, but I mean, like the really like archery. Like, what do you do for archery?
Yeah. Oh,
if you want to kill somebody at 300 yards, try out bows arrows.
Oh man, no.
When I'm pissed off at my boyfriend, I only use bows arrows.
But think about that. Like that makes total.
They are long and straight.
But the arrows, perfect sense. Like, why couldn't they now make like is bows arrows a legit brand, or were you just going with that? But think about that, like with because they could even actually that's really good because they like think archery. Now they could be like with a whatever stainless steel tip. Cutting in whatever degree, it really cuts through the air about 93.8 miles an hour or whatever. Like they could give you the full, this is, when I'm slaying my competition, I use bows arrows. Whew. So that's a legit one.
And my boyfriend when he cheats on me. Yeah. No, that is a legit one.
Want to know how to chop your boyfriend's Adam's apple when he finds someone else? Bows arrows. You can do it 300 yards away and nobody will ever know it's you. With the sleek design,
he'll never see it coming.
With the sleek design that's also non-fingerprint or is also fingerprint resistant.
They're also stainless steel fingerprint, no show fingerprints. So
that's all. So there you go.
Oh my God. If you want to kill somebody at 300 plus yards.
There you go. Yeah. Axe throwing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the really obscure sports. Like, well, you were behind the scenes at the university. So I can think like track and field is one. You got the hammer throw, you got the shot put.
Oh yeah.
What about like hurdles?
Fencing?
Not in the hurdles.
Like fencing's another kind of obscure sport.
Fencing.
So now, like, are you doing swords
that's
or like just because the name of the sport's fencing? Are you going like,
Atlas fence?
Like when I'm fencing, when I'm prepping for my fencing, I'm also laying vinyl for Atlas fence. In business since 1965.
When I'm trying to protect my backside.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. When I'm preventing my backside from being poked or stabbed, I use Atlas fence.
To protect my six, I'm thinking Atlas fence. Around since 1962 with a patented whatever. But there you go. So
polyvinyl.
Like, are people thinking of this? Because now, like, maybe I need to be a marketing director and just start going at like for all businesses. Like, listen, who do you think? Like, look, everybody knows you can't afford the running back at Ohio State. We get that. But two-time national champion fencer, like that's 10 grand. That's well spent, my friend.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Going up to like Columbus Gold. Look, we know you can't afford Maurice Clarett, but have you thought about this third string cornerback? Because he's pretty good and he does play for Ohio State.
So yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, I mean that's Yeah, so think a good basketball player who's always, so think of like the point guard, on Ohio State women's basketball team. So let's say, I don't know if this is legit or not, but right, top assist leader in the Big Ten. Like is that not a courier service if there ever is one? Like, well, when I'm carrying my package on the court, I'm delivering from all angles, just like DHL courier. We
We deliver locally and internationally.
rear entry also invited.
Likeness or whatever, not respond.
There you go. I had to keep the porn angle there. Rear entry also recommended.
Exactly. Yeah. They're like, oh, they're going clean, and they're
I had to bring it back. But no, I mean, I think that's what are some other good ones? Yeah, that are just not. We're really drawing a blank.
I just like the idea of like you going out to like these like mom and pop fucking like vacuum cleaner places. Like, I know you can't afford the quarterback. I get it. I completely understand that. However, have you thought about women's fencing? Because
look, she's a national champion.
Like, who?
Like, if anybody deserves this,
exactly,
it's whatever, because fencing I think is bigger in Europe. So what's a good European name? Like Stamkos Stavros over here, on the fencing team. Like, oh, there you go. If somebody with a Greek name, is that not a Euro? Like, like.
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm missing home, I can't do a Greek accent, but when I'm missing home, I go to Stavros's Euros. They remind me of Greece.
Yeah.
And how broke it is.
When Greece was failing economy, the most thing, what really reminded me of home. So I went to Yanni's Euros. And now with a GDP almost as big as Greece, Yanni's has been in the business since 1958.
Yanni's annual revenue outpaces Greece's annual GDP.
So yeah, like, I mean, you could get into this, like, so not only are you a college athlete, you're an econ major. So now you could start working those other things in as well. So like when I'm analyzing GDP of the GDP of the Ivory Coast, I'm thinking of,
piano keys.
There you go.
And Johnny's pianos. They have the best ivories.
Oh man.
And they're sourced naturally, not illegally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah, that's another, because just because they're an athlete, they're clearly more credible. So people are going to believe them. Like,
exactly, they're not.
And I don't just have a price. I also have integrity. Fake tier, Oh man, Stavros said it. I gotta buy a Yanni's Euro.
Stavros. What a fucking great name. Stavros. I'm not only a spokesman, I'm a customer. And he bites into a Euro.
So, and they, like, I don't think they can give the sports name. So they're going to have like the most general, like, commercials.
Oh, they can't give
think
the sports name?
See, I don't know, because then you would have to pay the license to like Ohio State, right? So then they're going to be like, no. I want to pay.
Yeah, but if football's a general sport, or fencing's a general sport.
So you're not going to say like
fencing.
when I'm pounding that ass at the Michigan game, you'd have to say something like, man, when I'm sweating sweating during the big game, I rely on, whatever energy. It's
speed stick.
Oh man. Now there you go. Wendy's brings back "Where's the beef?" So you go with like the big, huge football player. Where's the beef? And he pops up from under, the bottom of the screen. He's like, right here. There you go. And I meant because he's a big football player.
And every touchdown I score, everybody gets a free hamburger.
Oh yes. There you go. And again, he could keep it. He doesn't. Again, it's just back to that, like, during the big game on Saturday, at a neutral site that I'm not allowed to reference. If we win by 3 touchdowns, free tacos for everybody. Between 10:30 and 10:45.
Taco did. Between 10:30 and 10:35. I think that's funnier than anything we've ever done on this tonight's episode. The fucking fact that like, the little man's voiceover very quickly at the end. Offer only available on odd Fridays between 10:30 and 10:35.
Friday.
Oh fuck! That is the that is the funniest part of tonight's episode. It's between 10 and 10:35.
Oh man,
folks! I hope you actually listened through most of that bullshit to get to this joke right now. And if you have, hit us up on Twitter and Facebook, not Facebook, and Instagram.
But yeah, I mean,
slide me some DMs.
Slide me some DMs. I think the only DMs we.
Oh, how about this for the fucking the what's the ice thing with the ball with the big cement thing? What do they call that? The Canadians are big
curling.
Yeah, it's in the winter. Curling, yeah. Not when I'm winning Olympics. Up at fucking Montana / Canada State. Slide into some sliders at Curly's.
Or there you go. Fucking, yeah.
God, White Castle or. Yeah, White Castle.
Oh, that could be. I'll take this a complete. Yeah, perfect. Sliders from White Castle, or when they're like, you show.
I'll take it and clean it up. Is that what you're going to say? Because that joke was shit from my side.
That took me down another angle though. So you have the curler sliding, like you have them sliding the rock, because I think it's called a rock. They actually call it. So as they're doing that, and then the guy stops and he just like gives a look at the camera, and he's like. When I'm sliding into home, I got to make sure I'm staying clean. And preparation age keeps me, keeps my hemorrhoids at bay, so I can slide across the ice. There you go. That was probably better for diarrhea, actually.
No.
There you go. When I'm sliding into third and I'm dropping juicy turd, I'd much rather have Pepto-Bismol keeping me dry.
That's a baseball reference, not a curling.
That's all
reference.
right. It's still.
If I'm going to keep my ass, when I want to keep my ass cold, then I use preparation.
Oh, there you go. Icy hot. There you go. There you go.
Icy. There you go. Yeah. Icy hot. Yeah.
Icy hot's. Right. You got your natural biofreeze. There you go. When I'm keeping it cool on the.
You know what I see coming out of this?
What?
Fragmental marketing.
Oh,
yes.
That's what we need to do.
Podcast and a market. Yep.
Yeah. So.
LLC, here we come.
So let's think of the most obscure sport we can think of. And then, we'll open the show with that. We'll just do welcome to Fragmental. Hi, I'm Erica Johnson, spelunker extraordinaire at Nowhere State. When I'm bored, I listen to Fragmental. When I want to be pissed off and irritated for wasting my time, nobody gets me going like Dave and Mike.
Oh, shit. I should have went meow.
Dude, we can completely do this. Instead of sponsoring holes on golf courses, let's just find a third stringer, at a small Division III school.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're going to have to do that. And they got to have an awesome name.
Yeah, something super like Nordic, right? Somebody from Iceland or Norway where the names are just fucking completely fucked up. And then when they finish, you just go.
And then they close it out with, don't be a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Fragmental. Don't be a bitch. That's our
Hi, I'm Tug Johnson.
I've got to get t-shirts made.
Yeah, we do. Hats. I'm Tug Johnson. When I'm doing, when I'm prepping for my strongman contest, I listen to Fragmental.
There we go. That was a good one.
So, all right. Have we beat this dead horse, or I'm sure we could dig and find a few.
I think we beat this. Exactly. Not available between Fridays on odd days and 10:30 to 10:45. Thank
you. But those guys make a ton of money. Seriously, that would be the way to go. If you're an athlete who just has a great voice, you could do that now. And then, remember FDIC.
Yeah. Remember FDIC. Not available in 49 of the
But
50 states.
wait a minute. Was that
Or the
FDIC guy?
Puerto Rico.
Like, was that Justin Fields? Man, I guess I got a bank with Key Bank now. Wow.
Key Bank out of Cleveland State. All of Cleveland State players bank at Key Bank.
Yeah, I honestly I'm for the players. I'm excited for them, and I think right. If I was in marketing right now, which maybe I need to create a marketing company, like I feel like this is a great opportunity to be creative, be funny, and let's get some of these players some money. You're a women's lacrosse player at a Division III college. Here's $250 for whatever, doing something funny, and there you go. Like, we just paid for your party on Saturday.
We just paid for beer. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it in the long run. I mean, the schools have been making money off of all of this forever. So, I kind of like the way they did it. I mean, the paying for players thing is I think it makes it a little bit more professional. But there's nothing says that, like, I can work where we work and go do something else, go do my side hustle, right? And this is essentially the same thing. And that's how I look at it. It's essentially the same thing. It's just a side hustle for these guys to make some extra money. And I think and this is the serious portion of tonight's episode, I think if you're not economically strong, you're coming from a poor neighborhood or whatever, and you're super fucking talented. I mean, this could help your family.
Oh, hell yeah.
Even because not everybody makes it to the NFL, not everybody makes it to the MLB. You know what I mean? But this could supplement your college. This could supplement your family. There's more here than just, you're fucking paying players. I mean, there's other things involved in this. And let's be fucking real. The really super fucking athletes have been getting paid for decades.
I mean, it's just legal now.
I don't even want to go into Eric Dickerson. Yeah, it's just legal now. Eric Dickerson is the gold standard of getting paid.
What's funny about Eric Dickerson is just how completely unapologetic for it he is. Like, he could give...
that's what I mean. He's just like, fuck you guys.
He could give two shits that SMU was basically shut down for 30 years. Like, doesn't give a damn. Like, he's very... Like, I don't know that anybody's been more boastful about it than he has. But even that, based on today's... what the standards of this, that was technically illegal because they were getting paid by people at the university because they were good at football. So that's still not okay. It's more of like, a local business could pay. But now, I mean, legitimately from a business side, like, these players are going to have to learn what a W-9 is. And they're going to need accountants. They're going to need lawyers and that's going to be, not to get too deep here, but like, what if, you give somebody, I mean, I've seen some big deals out there. So you're paying a guy $250,000 for a 4-year deal. Like, what if, that car dealership or whatever it is puts in there, this is only as long as you play football at Ohio State. So then the guy transfers after a year. Let's say he didn't get to play. He was a huge recruit. Because that's going to be, let's be real, that's going to be a big thing that people are going to be like, well, if you come to Columbus, I'll pay $100,000 to do commercials for my dealership. But then, so what if they give him a huge deal like that and that language is in there? So then he transfers to wherever, now Syracuse, just for sake of discussion. Now, like, are they going to sue that player? Yeah. Like, no. Like, I have lost wages because he broke his contract. You know what I mean? Like, there's a dark...
Right. No, absolutely.
Like, there's a legit dark side to this.
Well, there's a dark side to everything. And we're kind of coming up on time here, but the funny thing is that I actually, positive Dave here, it actually will, the really good guys that are going to make like the NFL or the MLB or wherever, the NBA, this is kind of their prelim into like contract negotiations and understanding all of that shit. So, I mean, you're going to have 4 years of playing college basketball, but you've got the side gig that pays you money, contracts and likenesses and all that shit. So when they get to the NFL or they get to the NBA or NBA and the MLB, they're already kind of conditioned to some of that stuff. So maybe the deals will be, you're not going to get a guy that has some fucking shit contract. They're like, no, fuck you. This is how I structure my deals. Hopefully, it's going to get people
It
smarter.
should.
I mean, I want to go. I want to be hopeful. I want to be hopeful of it. Like now, these guys are taking like econ, like you said, econ classes, finance classes. Like I need to understand how I make money and how that works
Yeah,
and all
use
that
this
kind of
for
shit. So
long-term investment. I mean, I'm going to do what I can when
yeah,
I'm 20 years old, and I'm going to set myself up for, life after football or whatever that is.
right,
I agree. Like, I think, and you talked to,
right.
yeah,
If my knee goes out tomorrow, then I want that. You know, what I mean, how do I
yeah,
protect myself?
or you even
So
talked about it. You got those
and you're not,
college
yeah,
some of these guys have families. Some have kids. Like, look,
yeah.
I mean, I was a kid when we had my first one.
Apparently, they're not on the starting lineup for OS State, and they're Trojan, and they didn't get a Trojan ad.
When
So
everybody, right? Well, I guess that could be an ad as well. Like, if I don't know. I guess that'd be an asshole ad, but like, you know,
yeah, so and so's daycare. When I got the big game, here's where I take my kids. Kitty preschool.
I,
You're like 17. How do you have 4 kids?
you know what's kept me in check? Dr. Johnson performing performing vasectomies as early as the age of 19. You know what I mean? Like, but now, some of these guys with kids,
Come on, it's a doctor. It's got to be like Indian or Jewish or something like that. It's not
Dr.
Dr.
Wise. Well, I
Johnson.
thought
Come on, give
Dr.
me a break. I
Johnson
mean, you can get
vasectomy.
it.
It just there was connection
Yeah,
there, but I get it. Like Dr. Weisenstein. There
yeah.
you go. But
Performing vasectomy since 1986.
circumcisions and vasectomies. Circumcisions are done through the moil.
If you mention my name, you get a 10% discount. Valid only on odd days.
But yeah, I mean, now some of those players with kids can actually start making money. Like that's, and actually be able to afford it.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So, I mean, that's especially, again, I'm not thinking of just football. Some of those athletes are doing other sports. Some of them are at Division II colleges. Why not? You're a football star or, whatever, a lacrosse player, women's basketball in a Division II school. What not a lot of people know about you, but in that community, they sure do. So, you know what? Why can't they make $500 for, whatever Maria's sub shop? And, yeah.
Well, yeah. The other thing too is like those smaller schools or even Ohio State, right? The fencing team or the whatever team. A lot of times those aren't full rides. You know what I mean? So every little bit, here's we'll cover tuition, right? So but you got to have room and board. I mean, if you're good enough to get those ads or somebody to come to you and say, "Hey, look, we'll pay you for this or we'll pay you for that." I mean, that's your books, that's your room and board. That subsidizes your college education. So there are as many positives are to this, there's just as many negatives to this. So it's gonna be, which is life,
But
for every positive thing, there's an equal and opposite.
But this is where the NCAA can step up. I mean, first of all, they were way too long to try to put something in place, and that's why a court did it for them. But this is where, if you're the NCAA, that you can help these students, help these athletes by providing education for it, or have a bid process for lawyers, accountants, whatever. Like with the NBA and the NFL, you cannot be an agent for a player unless you're licensed with the NBA or the NFL. So, I mean, you could do things like that. So, because that's the other thing, like there is a downside to this, many downsides, but you're going to have a lot of people coming out of the woodwork trying to get money from these players. So, just like you said, help educate them at an early age on, hey, you're going to have a lot of money, and that's fine. Go buy that car so you can get around. Go, you want to buy some nice clothes, you want to take your boyfriend out, your girlfriend out, whatever. Go, because that was the thing. Like you would always hear for all these years, like, wouldn't it be nice that if I could take my girlfriend out to somewhere that's not McDonald's? Yeah, go ahead. Like go to Lindy's and have a great steak. Like, you're allowing these guys to do.
Absolutely. Or
yeah, good.
Or go like fly home for whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that one story about somebody gave them a plane ticket because their parents were in the hospital or something, and they got fucking dinged for it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, somebody's being a douchebag. Like, they're fucking somebody, so and so died, or there's a wedding. I mean, it's a family event going on, and you're gonna ding this motherfucker because he's generous enough to pay for somebody's plane ticket. I've had people pay for plane tickets for me, and not that to go do things because I couldn't afford it. it. Now, obviously, I wasn't in the profession in sports, but it's like that's just the dumbest thing I've ever the generosity of somebody. Now, I get there's a balance there because like everything falls under generosity. So like, look, I don't know why the plane ticket cost $38,000 to fly from Columbus to Chicago, but it just did. So,
But no, you're right. Like, what if, I wanted to
yeah,
pay for my daughter and her 3 friends to come down, whatever. If I had, I got a timeshare in whatever, Phoenix, and they're all athletes, I can't pay for the other 2. You know what I mean? Like
that's
yeah,
just dumb.
like stuff like that. So yeah, so you got those kinds of things. So even that
Yeah.
are completely not malicious. Like you couldn't even take them out for pizza. Like think about like parents do that for their kids all the time, right? Parent goes to visit their kid in college. They're going to take them and their friends out. Hey, you know what? Let's go to whatever pizza place in whatever small town. Let's go have dinner. Like, but because you 3 are scholarship athletes, I can't pay for you. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, that is dumb. I mean, because you do it anyway.
Right. Like exactly. Like I would have paid for my daughter and her friends to go to dinner anyways because they're broke college students. And then you know what else I would do? I'd probably give them
Right.
all a whatever local grocery store gift card. Like, hey, you know what? Fill up your refrigerator on us. Like, because you're an
Yeah.
athlete, I can't do that. Sorry, fuck you guys. Like no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So no, man.
Eat a dick, just like Dick's hot dogs.
Yeah, there you go. So if somebody's
Eat a dick, just like Dick's Lex Resort.
there you go. If somebody's known as like the person who yells at the refs or whatever, like when I'm telling umpire Smith over there to eat a dick, I'm thinking of Dick's Last Resort. There you go. Yeah. I think the opportunities are unlimited. I hope these players take advantage of it. I hope they have fun with it too. Like some of these small kids or smaller schools. Some of the again, like you said, just an obscure sport. Because you're right, you hit the nail on the head. Like on synchronized swimming, track and field. Like unless you're the high school national champion, you're not getting a full ride in those sports. You're getting a 10% scholarship, a 30% scholarship.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and that helps, but it's not what everybody hears with football and basketball. No other sports besides football and basketball have that many scholarships to give. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the money goes to where the money comes from. So
yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
I think it's a great thing for all those other scholarship athletes, the walk-ons, all those other things, like because people are going to want to do that, especially in the towns these people come from. So like
Right.
whatever. Johnny is a 6'7", 300-pound offensive lineman, went to Ohio State on scholarship. Now maybe he's not good enough to start, but that dude could still go back to any construction company in that town he came from and make money, and people are thrilled when he goes back home. You know what I mean? Like, and not just football, it's in other sports too, but you see it all the time in the small towns when they're like home of national champion track star,
Yeah.
whatever, like that.
Jan Jorgensen. I found my Norway name finally.
It took us to
58
right
minutes.
before we signed off. Way to go, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. So, Jan Jorgensen.
whoever we hire is going to say that, like, why do you guys play the meow horns like 8 times in my commercial? Like, hey, no, take your $250 and move on, buddy. This is our goddamn commercial.
If you don't fucking like it, take your $7.58. Offer valid only on in Fridays, on weekends, and between 2 and 3 a.m. Oh god, this is the problem with you and I. We take jokes and we drive those motherfuckers deep into the ground, like fragging deep into the ground, like we're looking for oil.
I love it.
Anyway, all right, we're at an hour. I think we've burned this subject enough, but and we kind of ended on a serious note. But we analyzed it. I think it was our opinion.
It was fun. I think we touched a lot of different levels here. So at the end of the day, I hope it works out for these kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. So,
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dave.
Mike. All right, man. Later. See you next week.